not the type of nigga to brag, my lady got it all. Hey, yeah, she poppin' but never poppin' off. Plus she bad and bougie to top it off. So whoever trippin', they can knock it off. Not the type of nigga to brag, little baby got it all, yeah. Am I wrong? I just wanna show you off. Hey, only right I chop it, the top is off.
How y'all doing, free world? It's your boy GB, #1 host, you know what I'm saying, out here in the free world. Got my man next to me, B. You know what I'm saying? Let him know we got a special guest today on the Daddy's Day Out podcast. Tiffany, let the people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I have a business here in Charlotte.
Hey.
Hair.
Hey. Let's rock and roll. So we got a special guest here today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to cover a lot of great topics today. We're going to make sure that we really try to drive the point of entrepreneurship, business, having a sound mind, and staying consistent in everything that we do. So Tiff is going to break down. She's going to explain from her start all the way to where she's at now to where she wants to go. So Tiff, you know, let's start off with what inspired you to become a beautician.
So just growing up in a underprivileged environment.
Got you.
I didn't have money to go to the hair salon, so I just started doing hair myself.
Okay.
And
would you say that type of environment, because, you know, a lot of us come from different backgrounds, right? And, I mean, we all come from probably a little tough environment. I know sometimes when you're in that type of environment, it usually can bring something out of you, right? So as you was growing up and you're looking at everything that surrounded you, did anything that, like, you went through in school push you towards going towards doing hair? Or more so, did you have a different passion? It was something else you wanted to do?
Well, first I wanted to go to school to be a Spanish translator.
Got you.
That was my goal. I never wanted to do hair.
Okay.
It was just as I got older and I did my hair more and more, other people start asking me, like, why don't you do hair?
Got you.
And I was just like, kind of never seen myself doing that. I never thought about that as actually being a career.
Got you.
Did you ever, like, really learn Spanish all the way, though?
Yeah, I went to school for 4 years.
Say something in Spanish.
Hola.
Hey, ¿cómo estás, right?
Most common.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool, though. So, okay, so you ended up not being a Spanish translator, obviously, right? So at some point as you was growing up, you was going through high school, you become an adult. What drove you to going to school to actually become a beautician?
Just like my mom being a single parent and not really having the time to come to like extracurricular activities and things like that.
Did you do cheerleading or something, or?
I wasn't really that girl. Like
you was fighting. It was a little rough.
Kind of, but not really. Like
Okay.
by the time I got into high school, I kind of had grew out of that. I did get into a fight, like about 11th grade or something like that. But,
Okay. Did you do a hair later?
Beat you up at you.
No, I haven't done it. I actually haven't run into her since.
Oh, well, that's good. Look at God.
Yeah.
Shout out to God. Okay, so after that, so what school did you go to?
I went to Carolina Beauty.
Okay, nice. What year?
I went in 2008.
Okay, you went in 2008. Did you complete? So when you went there, or what happened? Like, what was the process?
Well, when I first went there, I was about 5 months pregnant with my daughter.
Okay.
So I wasn't accepted because they had other people come in the past who had started school and wasn't completing because, you know,
They was pregnant, right?
they was pregnant, morning sickness, the excuses they were not coming to school.
Gotcha. Is this something you have to pay out of pocket, or is federal
Financial
aid? Okay.
Shout out to financial aid.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of people don't know hair school is not.
It's not cheap, is
It's
it?
not cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 20 bands.
$20,000 just to wow.
And it's crazy because they got you in there working. You doing people hair, and they paying for you know
To
get their hair done.
free labor.
The school and you supposed to be in class. And
I mean,
stuff like
we
that.
can get tips, and
Okay, well, that's good.
like you can build a rapport with people that come in there, and they will
Got you.
they will specifically ask for you. So
Okay.
they had this thing where, like, if they came in and specifically asked for you, then it was like a little higher rate, but the difference went towards like your tuition.
Oh, okay.
So you,
That's
so you
pretty
made back
cool.
some of your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you gotta do a lot of head stuff because I'm pretty sure, like you said, if it's only tips, right? People probably only tipping $5, $10, whatever the case
Right,
may be, right?
right.
So that's a
If that, I mean,
that
if
20K
that,
is a stretch.
yeah.
Well, man, it only takes one step at a time.
I mean, true. So okay, so after that, you're in school, right? When did you actually complete and graduate, and when did you transition from the school into, were you in a suite or salon or
Well,
what?
I ended up graduating in 2009.
Okay.
And then I ended up going into like a double suite where
Okay.
somebody else was working with me. and
Nice.
I was
In
just paying,
Charlotte?
like, yeah, in Charlotte.
Okay.
And I was just paying booth rent, weekly rent.
Would you say starting off, like let's say you got a young girl approach you, say, hey Tiff, I want to become a beautician, I want to be like you, right? What advice would you give her to start out? Because you started out in a suite, right, or a double suite, right?
Would I be a student?
Okay, first, right?
Be a mentee.
Mhm.
Go in almost like find somebody that you admire, and that's kind of like what I did.
Okay,
I found somebody that I had been watching for like a while on social media. I was very intrigued by just her consistency, what she put out. And when I went, it wasn't like a traditional, she just didn't allow me to come in and work. It was like an interview process.
nice.
And then I came in as her assistant.
Nice. So basically the mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mindset, what would you say your mindset of beauty in here is?
That I'm a boss, that I make all the rules,
Okay.
and that just because I'm good at something that, people have to just do whatever I say because I'm my boss, I'm my own boss. Like, I think
Gotcha.
everybody has this mentality now that, like, it's whatever I say goes, or you don't have to come to me.
So basically, you're more than capable and willing to learn from someone. Let's say somebody only been in the game 5 years, right? Because you have 20 years in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody's been at 5, and they like, well, Tiff, I think you should do this certain style, or you can add this to this certain style. You would listen to them versus saying, girl, get out of here. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because the advantage of new people coming into the game is that they have newer skills.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times people look at it as a disadvantage of a new stylist coming out of hair school, and they're like, oh, well, they don't have that much experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like a doctor being in med school in 2023 versus in, you know what I'm saying,
It's different.
2000.
Exactly, right?
It's
Times change,
Times change,
right?
innovations,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like
certain products and stuff, right?
yeah.
Processes of how you used to do maybe, I don't know, a doobie or something of that nature, right? It's different
Exactly.
now. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's in all industries now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It
for
seems
sure.
like it's like you gotta come out with something new,
Mhm.
something that's gonna pop out to new customers. I know hairstyles changed from the 80s to 90s to 2000s.
But then
and
it
that
comes
has
right
come
back around,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, because I mean, think about we was growing up. At some point, locks was looked at.
You was Jamaican.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you was Jamaican. But
Yeah.
look at it now, right? Most of us got locks.
Mhm.
Majority of us, or a good vast majority, right? No matter where you from now.
Right.
So it's a really good thing. I would like to say, let's say like a young girl, right? I don't know. You meet her. She's 15 years old. She walks up to you, Tiff. I really want to become a beautician. What steps should she take to really get to the level of like her level of success or her ideal of success?
Again, like I said, just finding a mentor, and I would say more so going the traditional route and
Okay.
and not going into these smaller salon suites,
Gotcha.
because the disadvantage in that is there's no community no more in the salon,
Why do you think there's no more community though?
because everybody just wants to be their own boss. Nobody wants to be technically paying somebody else and thinking that they're paying their bills and
Gotcha.
I can do it on my own type of mentality.
How do you think we could change that mindset? Because I agree to that. What you think, babe?
I was gonna ask about the pandemic. Did the pandemic kind of change that? Because you
it
couldn't
just
go back
only
into the salon.
it just only like made it more accessible
Gotcha.
because more people start seeing it as like you gotta think like say even Deshaun would come in there and be like, these buildings, you know what I mean.
I'm a little
You don't
bougie.
even have to. You don't even have to do hair. You could just
Yeah.
be an investor in these
That's true.
and putting these up and renting these out.
That's true. That's
So it just became like more of a commodity where people was like, hey, there's not a lot of these things around. I can, put one of these up and people will come. And then the thing with that too is a lot of these places don't, they just rent you the space. They don't ask for any type of licenses. They don't ask
at
for
all.
any.
I mean, as long as you paying.
Yeah, but
as long as you pay me
But the
my
con
money,
of
you
that
have
though,
all
the
this.
state board come in, right? Now, not only probably that person that's doing it here is in trouble, but then probably the person that actually owns the building,
I
right?
don't
So
know about
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm renting you space. I don't have any.
I mean,
No,
No,
You know what
not
I'm
the
saying?
person that's renting the space.
The person
but
that's
you
in
have
charge.
you have more turnover if
Exactly.
you're not. That's just like if you were renting an apartment to somebody and you didn't require pay stubs.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
There has
you're
to be
running
laws
the,
against
you're,
that.
You're running the risk of like the turnover of somebody coming in,
Mhm.
moving right back out, coming
Exactly.
in, moving right back out.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I
So
see what
if
you're talking about.
you required that up front and to know that somebody was serious and had all they shit together,
Exactly. They'll be pretty
then
much
you
good
know
to
what I
go.
mean. Because when state board come in and it's not together, you
Mhm.
getting fined and you got to get out.
True.
So
What
it's
would
just
you
a revolving door.
What would you say for the people like that's currently beauticians, right? Especially, and that's a good question about the pandemic, right? I know the pandemic happened. It forced a lot of people to start doing hair inside their homes, right?
Mhm.
But they were still giving salon prices, right? Like, that's really not fair, is it? Or do you think it's fair, or what do you think? Because I think it's very subjective.
Well, I can speak on that because I too went back to doing hair in my house for a short amount of time, and I did not change my prices. I still did salon prices, and that's only because I felt like this was a brief moment that I
Gotcha.
was here, and I made it a setup to where it wasn't like you were just in my house getting your hair done. I had a whole setup.
The
I went,
ambiance.
yeah, I went and bought the things. I had my shampoo chair. I had everything set up
As if you was
as
in a
if
salon.
I was in a salon.
Mhm.
So I wasn't gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna give you $10 or $15, and then when I get back in the salon, it would just have been too much of a confusion.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, but I do see on the customers' end how they could be like, like
They feel a little uncomfortable, right? Come to somebody's home, especially if the home is not pleasant, especially if, there's certain things that they're accustomed to coming into a salon, like
Right.
you say, a chair stuff. But I can attest, right? Because I've been there, right? I've been to you already when you had it at your house, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It even felt better than being at the salon.
a lot of people said that.
You know what I'm saying? The way you created the ambiance, the pictures you had on everything, right? The energy, it was perfect for me. But I know some other horror stories, some other people saying, the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, but that's one skill about being a barber or hair salon. Your skills don't diminish from where you go. Your
Exactly.
I
skills
agree.
should be still there,
Exactly.
regardless of where you at.
Mhm.
And that's one kind of quality that you can't get from other places because you're
That's true.
skilled.
That's true.
If you're not skilled, you're gonna be horrible in the salon or at home. So
That's
it
true.
doesn't make a
And
difference.
then too, like, you know what I mean? Just to give, myself a own pat on the back that I'm consistent.
True.
Okay.
Very consistent.
Like,
Yeah.
even when I fall short, I'm still consistent
Mhm.
because I'm still sending out, hey, it's temporary. I'm here. I'm still in communication with my clients. So, because life happens.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Agreed.
And at the same time, I'm still a small business owner. So,
Mhm.
I'm going to do the best I can.
Regardless.
Regardless of the
whatever
situation.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Wherever I'm at, I'm still going to make the best of it, and I'm still going to try to make my clients experience the best of it as well while
No
we
matter
going
what.
through it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I seen your Instagram and I can see the consistency
Exactly.
from the beginning to
Tiff don't
where you
play.
at to this
Mhm.
part. It looks like you can do really well on locks and regular weave, stuff like that. So I was gonna ask you about that. Like you do locks and the weave part, right?
I do a little bit of everything. I consider myself as like the OG of styling.
Okay.
Like,
You do a little
I
bit
can
of this.
do a little bit of everything,
little
like a
bit of that.
chef. Like when you ask a chef, like what you can cook.
What's your specialty?
It's like shit, a little bit of everything. Like, you know
Like,
what I mean?
what's
It's
your
like,
best dish, right? It's
yeah,
like, I can make chicken. I can do this. Yeah, I feel
yeah,
you.
you know, it's just out there. I do a lot of things great. Um, but I will say that in this industry, they want you to like hone down on a niche,
Got you.
you know,
And what is the
which
niche right now?
it's just like when you do one specific
And just be the best
thing,
at that,
yeah,
right?
like a specialist.
But that's kind of pigeonhole you a little bit, right? Because then it
I
takes the
feel,
creativity
I
away
feel
from you.
like it takes away the industry and the art of hair because
Mm,
I have clients that come to me in different mini transitions.
got you.
I have a
Got you.
client right now that's going through chemo,
Hmm.
and her hair is coming out, and she wanted a shortcut.
Got you.
I was able to do that. Not that I'm the best at shortcuts,
Yeah,
but I
but
still can offer that service.
exactly.
When she didn't have that going on, I was offering sew-ins, quick weaves, you know what I mean, braids, crochets, whatever she needed. Because at the time, you might be going out of town for 2 weeks and you don't need this particular style. You might need a crochet. It's like, okay, this is only going to last 2 to 3 weeks.
Got you.
So you have the benefit of going to somebody that they're already comfortable with. They already know your hair, and they're good at multiple things instead
At
of
once.
going to this person for braids and this person for a sew-in and this person for stitch braids. And that's why people are really getting taxed.
Got
Okay.
you.
Like, we won't want to
Got
really
you.
talk about it because y'all want such perfection.
Is it because of social media? Because I think so. I think they're looking at
It's
social media.
it's a false perception. It's
Exactly.
smoke and
Looking at
mirrors.
famous people, right? And they looking at like, oh, so and so
Just-
flew me out.
Just
and I
not even
paid.
that. I mean, you got people, they only gonna post their best work,
Yeah.
and they only gonna post the girls with the wavy hair,
Exactly.
curly hair. You know,
Exactly.
other people have more hair types than that.
Exactly.
So it's a false narrative that when you come in and you showing a picture to your stylist and you like, hey, well, that ain't going
That ain't gonna really shake, right?
like how I tell you with your hair, like, hey, you got thicker locks. So some styles are not gonna.
It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't really look right. And I'm
It's
tender
not
headed
even
too.
saying that it's not gonna look right. It's just not gonna look like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, I remember when I first got the 2-strand twist, and I was like, "This is interesting," because I've seen other people start out. I'm like, "That mine don't look like theirs," you know. Not saying that I disliked it, because I, you know me, like I say, every process is beautiful in my honest opinion.
Yes.
You know,
And
from
I
the
love
beginning
that.
to the end. Like, you know, some people, especially with locks, a lot of people say, "Well, the ugly phase."
No.
There is no ugly
There
phase.
is no ugly stage.
Every phase is beautiful. You have to embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know, especially in our culture, in the black culture, we feel like, especially if you're working a 9 to 5, you got a corporate job, you feel like, oh, well, and that, you know, the locks versus weave thing, right? So a
Right.
young lady got locks, or, you know, they now it's something she wanna go to work and throw the quick weave in so she could appeal to the masses. I think that's a self-identity issue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a self-esteem issue.
exactly, agreed. So when it comes to locks versus weaves, right? When especially a lot of females, right? How do you feel? Like, what's really going on, and what do you think is going on in most females' minds versus that?
Women are competing with other women.
Mm.
And
So-
they competing with other women because they competing for the best men.
But who
Well-
dictate that though, right? Does society dictate it? Does, like, you get what I'm saying?
Subconsciously, yeah.
Okay.
Because what's in front of you every day, if you never got on social media, I got on social media late.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get on social media until about 2006.
Okay.
Facebook and stuff, it was already around. When I did, everybody was like, finally, you're here. Da, da, da. But what I can say to that is, even myself, it started to change my own perception because I was, quote unquote, a basic girl.
Got you.
You know, like,
Got you.
because I wasn't exposed to certain things. I'm not saying that I didn't go out and I didn't see certain things, but it was more so in my face every single day, like makeup, just
Just the
you know,
idea of
yeah,
beauty, right? What is beauty?
yeah,
Right?
and you know, and not even say sometimes that it's a insecure thing, but with something you never knew existed, and now
Exactly.
that you like it, it's like you want it.
True.
So
When do we dial that back though, right? Because we see these things on social media, we see it on TV, right? We look at music videos, and then we I guess we want to be like that, but at some point we have to realize that a lot of that stuff is false anyway. So it's really confusing our mentalities.
Just to always be your authentic self, because
True.
like even with the era of just like BBL that's going on,
Positive podcast.
I always like try to do like metaphors for
Got
people because I'm a big visual person.
Got you.
So I always be like, okay, so say you walked into a room and you seen like this jumpsuit, and it was like this bad jumpsuit,
Okay.
and it was like nude, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I want that, and it's like 10 other girls is in the room, and they all was thinking the same thing, and they all went out and bought that same nude body thing, but maybe somebody has theirs in shorts, maybe somebody has skinny legs, maybe somebody has flares, but it's all the same nude jumpsuit.
All the same print.
And it's like you walk into the room, it's like, damn, everybody looks the damn same. Nobody looking different. Where's the originality here? And then it's like the girl that walks in with denim jeans and a tee is like, okay, now everybody want in heels, like, oh, now I want that.
Exactly.
It's
Like,
exotic now.
yeah,
Exotic.
yeah. Like, dang, I would have never thought that. It was like because you're not being your authentic self. You
Exactly.
you
Stay
want
true
to
to you.
be like somebody else, and it's okay to want similar things. But like you said, where do we dial back on that? And I would just say like, do what you
Exactly.
like.
Follow your own lead, right?
Yeah, I think that's in general now. It's hip hop is like that. Everywhere it's like that. Everybody want to be repeat everything everybody else sees and does successful. And most businesses are like that as well.
True.
It's no original like way to get rich now.
Exactly.
I'm saying
It's nothing.
It's
We're
like-
not thinking out the box, right?
Yeah,
like
you
we're thinking
just-
we're really thinking in the box, right? Because we're all like, not majority of us all like, oh well that person did, so let me try that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be a little bit more creative, right? Like basically like even what I did in my ice cream shop before, I used to have a small, a medium, and a large.
Yeah.
Sure, I named it a baby roll, a mommy roll, and a daddy roll.
Yeah.
Creativity, right? So I'm not trying to follow the same path or the same process or the same thing that's been implemented for the last 20 odd years. To me, that's kind of corny, and that's not being original. That's not even who I am anyway. So I love to kind of challenge the status quo, to be a little different, right? What would you say? Would you rather do locks or would you rather do weave? Which one did you prefer? Because I see you do a lot of locks.
I mean, I don't like monotony. I don't like meticulousness.
Gotcha.
So if I got to come to work every day and do the same thing, I might as well be sitting at a damn desk. Or,
You ain't never lie. Crunching some numbers,
so yeah,
right?
so today I might be like, oh, like some days, because I have my days. I was like, dang, I know Deshaun coming. He got all these dang on locks. Like, it's going to take me a little longer. Versus then somebody come in, they like want to blow out, and I know it's going to take me 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
quick
Sure.
money.
Quick one.
Quick
Yeah.
money.
So it's not
Straight to
even
the
more
bank.
so like what I want to do. And then some days I have my days, I'm like, oh, I got something in my head that's been brewing, and I can't wait to such and such come in so I can say, let's try this.
Gotcha.
Hey, so you have those certain customers where they just make me look good.
I used
creative.
to.
You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
well, that goes back to earlier. I don't think nobody's doing that now. I don't
Yeah.
think nobody's coming into your shop and like, make me look good. Who's doing that? They
want what
in
they
Google,
want.
They went on social media. They looked at, I don't know, somebody, Ari Fletcher, whoever the hell they like, right? And they like, give me this.
I just posted that the other day. I
Give me
said,
this.
like, I don't mind you bringing me pictures, but what you have
Yeah.
to understand is somebody's stylist allowed them to create something.
Exactly. Unique to them,
And-
right?
And then they posted it, and then they said, now I want it. But you won't allow me to do the same so that I could take a picture now so that somebody else can take it to their stylist and say,
They
now
did.
that I want this.
Exactly.
Because it didn't just come out the thin blue air.
Exactly. That's interesting, though.
And it's so funny, like, a lot of styles that are out now, like, I could go back and be like, done that, done that. But I didn't believe in myself enough to post it because it wasn't popping. It wasn't popular, and I was scared that people would be like,
So you had a
know,
little self-doubt then.
mm-hmm,
You didn't want to take the risk. Basically.
But
I
now,
understand.
you would say that you definitely taking risks.
I'll
for
always
sure.
say take the risk. Like what I
Exactly.
learned now, like everything is content,
Mhm.
and post it. And even if it's a failure, post that it was a failure.
Got you.
And also risk, right? I did see on your Instagram you just got into a new location. I seen you doing the Bob Builder thing in the shop. So
Yeah.
Oh,
how
yeah.
is that?
Tiff
like?
got another skill on the low, but she, she.
I don't wait for nobody. I don't got time. I got too much. I got too much going on, and by the time I could do something myself, why am I waiting on you to do it?
True. So no procrastinating.
Yeah, that's that guy right
Yeah.
there.
To ask somebody else to
Way
do something,
procrastinating.
to ask somebody else that you're of something that you're unwilling to do is called being selfish.
But how was that transition to the new shop? I mean, give us a little insight. How was that? Like, was there loops that you had to jump in and to get your own shop and build
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, because people need to hear like how to even get into that. Like, what do you need paperwork? Do you need a LLC? Right? Like,
I mean, like I just said, these companies are not requiring much. If you have your security deposit
Okay.
and first month's rents,
you're pretty much good to go.
Mhm.
So they're not asking for no like a beauty certificate, nothing.
no.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that legal? Do you know? if
Yeah,
that's
it's
legal?
very legal.
Okay.
It's real estate.
Because
True.
the responsibility is going to fall on you as the owner because you know protocol.
Gotcha.
You are the licensed person that you know what I mean. And if you don't know, ignorance is bliss. It doesn't mean that just because you don't know,
Exactly. It does
you
not
ain't
gonna
got
apply.
saying you ain't.
That's
yeah.
true. That's very true. I've learned that in business myself. Like, there's some things I didn't know the first couple months, and boy, when I got that letter,
And them fines,
I was like, oh, I gotta do what?
you like
I gotta pay what, sales tax? But it sounds like crazy, but it's a reality though,
Right.
right? So I didn't know, and I'm not ashamed to say, hey, I didn't know. But guess what? I had to pay.
Yep.
But that's what mentors are for,
Yeah, well,
going back to your original,
Yep.
you say you have to have a mentor. A mentor should also tell you about that part of the game, you know what I'm
True.
saying? Because they know they didn't live that, so that
Exactly.
you are coming to them for advice as
Exactly.
a mentor. Most people get mentors and they don't even talk to their mentors, and that's not successful.
The-
You gotta
the-
be successful
the-
talking to your mentors.
The point of
fixing her earrings.
no, I gotta take these earrings off because the way they set up, they're
The way they
killing
set
me.
up, dude.
Yeah,
Just like my bank account,
You know, my-
it's hurting my ears, and I can't.
my savings and
be
my
in no
check-ins,
pain.
check-ins and my
It's so
savings.
serious. Sorry, what was your question?
That was B.
Oh,
Do your thing, B. You forgot your question already?
yeah, I forgot it and blew my. Nah. So that's what your mentors are for, to actually just tell you about that part of the game, right?
No, not necessarily.
But they should be an access point, right? Like, if you, like, I get you can't, because you don't know until you don't know, right? So that's just a reality. But that mentor, if I got a 20, 30-year-old mentor that been in the game, like, let's say in my industry, and if I don't know something, then I figure out, damn, I messed up, I should be able to call that person. Even if they can't help me, they should be able to point me maybe in the right direction.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
of course. But what I'll say to that is don't use a mentor as a crutch because there's so
Agreed.
much resources
Agreed,
out here.
yeah.
What I'd rather say is that you call me and you said, hey, coach, or hey, mentor, I did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then I did this, and this.
Exactly.
This is not working. I'm trying to understand. Is there any information?
So
that
taking
you
the
can give me?
initiative first.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm not. Nobody can pick my brain.
True.
I don't care if you have $1 million a minute. You cannot pick my brain because I can't give you
Yeah.
all my sauce. It's priceless. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I was about to say we went back
I'm
to
about to
last.
get-
we went
I'm
last
about to
week,
get
we
on
was
you
talking
now.
About,
So
you
you
know,
saying you
the
wouldn't
game not
share
sold,
certain
not sold.
information unless unless somebody pay for it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I told you. You got to.
Game ain't
You
free,
just
it's
can't
sold.
give. Exactly.
But see,
exactly.
I disagree. I feel like once you reach a certain plateau, I think the onus is back on you now to give it back. So if I come to
definitely
you,
do.
right, I don't think you should say, hey, in order for me to teach you this, you have to pay me X, Y, and Z. I don't believe in that.
But you are doing yourself a disservice
How so?
because you are always a business first.
Got you.
Always.
Got you.
So I'm going to always give you free game.
Okay.
Just because you in my presence, you're going to be getting free game.
Okay.
All
Got you.
day. We know this.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
So,
sure.
but by the time we get into talking numbers and talking what you need to do, you need to be accountable and you need to listen and you need to be able to have something that's going to hold you to that.
True.
So if you're paying this, you're going to be like, damn, I really need to probably sit down
Okay.
and really hone into this because I'm paying. When you don't pay sometimes for something you don't really value it.
So I agree. I think like if somebody came to me and say, hey, I want to open up an ice cream shop, they still have to bring value to me, meaning that, okay, I can sit down, we can explain, hey, start this, get your EIN, get your LLC, right? Get X amount of money saved up, start looking for a builder, start looking for inventory, all that great stuff, right? But then after I tell them that, they have to actually go do it. Now, if they double back and be like, hey, man, what'd you say again? I already told you once, right? I'll tell you one more time, but I'm not going to say, hey, man, this third time.
And I'm not going to hold your hand through it.
I'm definitely not holding nobody's hand. I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. So when you want me to hold your hand, I can give you a number.
Okay. You know what? From a business standpoint, that does make sense though.
Because I got you got kids.
Yeah.
I got home. I got vacation. I got too much. So when we ready to sit down and talk business and you serious, then I know we serious. But I don't have time to sit around and chit chat.
Okay.
We do that at lunch. We do that over.
That's true.
You know, we do that on the ride to the airport.
That's true.
Oh, since you got like 20 years in the game, have you ever thought about becoming a mentor?
That's what I'm focusing on right now.
You gonna do an ebook?
I already did have ebook. I have 3 ebooks right now.
Hey.
I just have not published them.
Okay, when are you gonna do that? Come on, we can't procrastinate.
Yeah, I know, and it's really all about me just not really knowing how to navigate through that space and trying to do it myself. And like
do you know anyone that has posted one yet, or?
I have people. I even have a mentor. That even in right now, I have a mentor, and she gives me stuff right now.
Did she tell you like what the steps to take and like the process? No. Did you ask?
See,
no.
You're not gonna ask.
I'm gonna refer back to what I was saying on last podcast. It's an app. I go down my little app, and you can put on your day-to-day operations. Let me just look into this.
Yeah.
It could be part of your process.
That's true.
I do it every day.
That's true. That's a day-to-day.
The
We speak about that a lot, like having a good, solid foundation on your day-to-day, stuff that you need to accomplish, stuff that you need to conquer, right? So if you create a day like today, this is my agenda, just check it off. Check it off as you go. And that should be a part of your agenda, right? Publishing that ebook.
While we talk about the ebook, what is your goal for the next 5 years? Like, according to your business or personal?
Do you want a storefront, or do you want anything else?
Hold on.
To be honest, I don't think that far into the future.
Okay.
Plan that far into the future. But I will say that my ending goal is I just want to be a teacher.
A teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a mentor.
So to get to your end goal, you have to create some short-term goals, right? So obviously, right? So there has to be something right now that you're doing to prepare yourself to become a teacher. And what is that?
Well, right now I'm offering classes.
Okay.
I have something that I've been having in the making for like the last year or two, where I want to kind of do this mentor and program with young ladies.
Okay, nice. Are you promoting it yet, or
no?
Okay,
not yet, because I have to make space for it. Because when I do it, I want to be there. You know what I mean? I want to have to like be doing clients or whatever. So I'm gonna have to like create that time where I'm gonna be letting clients know that, hey, I'm gonna be out of the salon.
So kind of like a beauty school, kind of, right? In a sense, or something similar.
No, not really a beauty school. I just want to use hair and beauty as like the force behind it. To start with girls early, that about self-esteem.
Okay,
gotcha. And how it relates to beauty and like what they should be doing versus what they shouldn't be doing. You know.
Gotcha.
So you're trying to make a mind state, like making it all like a general mind state. This is how you build from the beginning to the end. I understand that, but you can also look into grants and stuff like that.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, that's
a short-term goal there. Angel investors too, right?
Right.
Even have you wrote your business plan yet?
I do.
Okay, so you got your business plan. Have you tried to go to a bank, like show them, hey, this is what I'm trying to do? You know, maybe get some funding. Okay,
that's where I lack it. Like, I'm the creative force, but anytime there is where I have to go in and like speak professionally or like handle myself in a certain type of way, it's not that I don't know how to do it. It just deters me from doing it, because it's like, I don't know what they're going to ask for. I don't know what to expect. And it's just like, I might not have everything that I need. And I just wait
Well, could you use your mentor to do like a mock interview or mock
Yeah.
things of that nature where you could just go in there and y'all just practice what you may do, speaking and stuff like that,
Right.
making it
That's a
clear.
great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be one of the steps that you can use to progress in your field or whatnot.
Yeah, because you got to keep in mind as you're doing these things, right? Everything that you're doing has to be intentional. And then, like the app that B has, right? Maybe you create that or you download the app, and that could be something you also add on the app. Because, I mean, the end goal is to be a teacher. So you have to figure that out sooner than later.
Yeah.
My philosophy is short term goals create long term success, right? And you have to be very consistent. And every time you say, when you say I'm going to do it, then you actually got to go do it,
Yeah.
right? Like you can't
Yeah.
just keep saying, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
And
Yeah.
one more thing is that app. Y'all need to give me a little sponsor. I'm putting y'all on game. You know what I'm saying?
What
'Cause
app
that
is this?
What app? What's the name?
It's
B?
Me Plus.
Yeah,
See,
hey.
Me Plus, you need to holler at me. I'm
Facts,
promoting
yeah,
you.
yeah,
You know
Me
what I'm
Plus.
saying?
Yep. Shout out to Me Plus.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's the app. Day-to-day process. Also, I journal too. I don't know if you journal or not. I thought it was a woman's thing to do is journal. Are you a journaler?
I was a heavy journaler, but I have not journaled like
In a
that
while.
in a while. Like I'll use notes on my phone even though it's not the same, but I do every now and again, but not like I need to and I want to.
Got you. And when you are writing these things, are you writing down things that you know that you need to do to accomplish your end goal, right? Like you're just not writing down random stuff, I'm assuming, right? Stuff that's not. And by stuff, it don't have to be just your necessarily end goal. It could be something like maybe like I want to learn a language, right? Or I want to work out. Anything, right? Anything that's
So
productive and
like right
positive.
now I am putting a lot of stuff on the back burner from what I'm doing and just kind of focusing on my mental health.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
my like right now I want to lose 30 pounds.
Okay.
Mhm.
Personal.
Like start eating healthier, get away from these sweets,
Got you.
just get my mental back because I know that that's 90% of my problem.
Got you.
It's just that I'm not healthy enough in the mind state to do what I need to do because when you eating the wrong stuff and putting the wrong stuff in your body, you sluggish and you tired, you're not
Exactly.
motivated.
True. True.
And it's just like that is just adding to me already having a procrastinating
Got you.
spirit.
It's very important in business, right, for us to have that solid foundation.
And to walk it like you
Yeah.
talking because like I'm not trying to downplay
Well, mental
know-
health is very, very important in
Yeah.
all aspects of life. So if you can see yourself mentally growing, then that's the plan. I meditate every day to grow my mental health. So I see myself doing something positive or foreseeing picture something in my positive. What I
Exactly.
believe is if you can see it, you can achieve it
Yep.
and you can believe it. So it will happen
Yep.
as you
Even how
manifest it in
cliche
life.
that sounds.
You know what I'm
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
it
agree
does
to
sound a
that.
little cliche,
Yeah,
No,
but
it doesn't.
I'm saying it
And that's
does.
why
But I
a lot
agree.
of things I feel like it holds me back because I feel like such a gifted person that
Mm-hmm.
I have $1 billion of ideas in my mind.
Exactly.
I just don't know how to get them out.
Got you.
And I write and I do, I'll pull over to the side of the road and I'm like,
Yeah.
like, because I'm like, I have a notebook right now. Like, I want to go on a shark. I don't even want to give them the ideas. I'll sell you this book right
Exactly.
now,
Uh-huh.
right, for a number. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to do the business with you. I just
Gotcha.
want, because I know that there's a market for it.
Got you.
It's just that I don't want to get into all these prototypes and manufacturers. And it's like,
So
I
you
don't
don't
want
want to do that part of the business, right? I know I was talking to somebody about that earlier. A lot of times, like you find yourself in a situation like me. Like I don't want to do all the extra stuff, but I do want to do the part that I enjoy the most, whatever that may be, right? Like whenever I get ready to franchise my business, I would love to go to different, franchises and teach and coach and mentor and train them. But my philosophy is somebody got to flip the burgers and dump the fries. I just don't want to do it.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
when you create a team, though. That's what a team
exactly,
for.
Exactly.
You-
But doesn't mean that I feel like I'm better, right? Or I feel like I can't do it because I still roll ice cream and make the bubble tea too.
Right.
And I love it and I enjoy it. But as you keep elevating, so maybe you're in a position right now in your personal life to where as though You're trying to navigate all these different things, right? Mental health is a part of it right
Mm-hmm.
now. So once you start prioritizing everything that you need to do, I think you will start to see even more
Yep.
success,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to take that initiative. You have
Yeah.
to take that first step, right?
Mhm.
Don't give yourself no excuses. Don't give
Yep.
yourself a reason why you can't
Yep.
do something.
Yep.
Start to believe more in yourself and
Right.
start to put all those thoughts into actions.
Yeah.
You're already writing it. You're already thinking it. Now start doing it, right?
Yeah.
So every day.
God.
Oh, I'm in my bag for sure, for sure. I told you when I
He's
took
in
the
the
shades
God
on. I
mode.
told you what time.
He's in the guiding mode.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah. I told you what time we on. But it's true though, right? I
yeah.
think a lot of us are in the position that we're in not because we can't do it. It's because we believe we can't, and therefore we really don't even take the necessary steps to get to the promised
Yeah.
land, so to speak, right?
That's how I go. You know, we are sometimes we could be our greatest enemies.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know,
and our biggest
mentally,
critics.
You know, it is what it is. But I did have a question going back. I know you said that you don't want to follow the trends when it comes to the hair,
Mhm.
but do you do wigs? Wigs are I heard is like a big part of the game now when it comes to hair.
Yes and no. Like, I'm all for serving a purpose and a need, but without going against my own integrity and boundaries. Because at the end of the day, I'm the professional,
Got you.
and
Gotcha. That's a big thing.
I feel like I know what's best. Like, if you were to go to a surgeon and say that you want to get liposuction, and they say, well, you had to lose 45 pounds first or 100 pounds first before we could do this surgery, and you go to another doctor and they do it and you die or something happens or you have complications, it's like, well, then everybody wants to blame the doctor.
Got
But you did what you wanted to do and you want what you want. So I guess to say what that is, like, I'll do and make a weave for somebody. Like, if my client is going through cancer
Got you.
or
Gotcha.
something like
Specialty
that.
type of
Yeah,
thing.
like my niece has alopecia.
Yeah, my daughter has it.
my
My
niece-
daughter, if you see my daughter outside,
beautiful.
she don't have any hair.
That's my
or
niece.
Eyebrow.
That's my niece. She doesn't have any hair. But you know what? The thing that's really what inspired me, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Got you.
Because that little girl, when she started losing her hair, she was like self-conscious about it, of course.
Okay.
But then she was like, you know what, Auntie, well, I was going to do her hair one day. She said, I'll never have another bad hair day.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look
She
at
said,
that.
I'll never have to spend money on
Uh-huh.
all this hair and stuff.
I love that.
And they hate on her so bad at school, it don't even make no sense.
Exactly.
Because her confidence
Is
is
on
like
another
1,000.
level. See, that's awesome.
It's like
That's
it's like
awesome.
I'm inspired because
Exactly.
it's just like,
exactly.
wow. And that's how I know it's a confidence thing with this hair. It's
Bingo.
so much deeper
Bingo. Uh-huh.
than that. But when you do decide that, I think I want that little wig, a little red wig on,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
How-
Yeah, a wig is like
It's an accessory.
It is an
every day.
necessity,
You
yeah.
can be like, hey, I want a gray hair or orange hair
Yeah,
or blue
but
hair,
think
whatever.
about how many women will not step out the house without having.
I see
their
it all the
wig
time.
laid.
I can't.
That's
tell-
a self-esteem
It
thing.
is, but they would never say it out loud,
No.
right? Because if they say it out loud, then they got to admit to what they're really dealing with. And that's a hard thing for most of us. Most of us don't want to truly admit our pains and our struggles out loud because people are going to they feel like people would judge them or look at them in a different way. Honestly, you shouldn't give a fuck. You shouldn't even care about that. What you should care about is what you feel. You know what I'm saying? I got a good question though, right? What do you feel about men, right? That's cheating the system and basically adding lock extensions to the hair. Shout out to Fetty Wap.
Man,
What do you feel
think
about that?
there is a special place in hell.
Oh my gosh! Seriously?
I mean, I know because my lock journey was terrible. I had them.
Oh,
I started
he-
from the beginning, like
Oh,
the
my
little,
gosh.
little balls. It looked like I had little balls,
You had a
peanuts.
little BDBs.
Yeah, little peanut beads on my joint. I mean, I started from
Oh
the bottom.
man! So has that ever happened? Have you had a man came and had the lock extensions, or asked you, "Hey, can you put these fake locks in my hair?" Okay.
No, I haven't had that.
Mm. Do a lot of females like that, or is that like something that you guys discourage a little bit in your opinion, or does that come off a little, flamboyant? Like how, to each his own, but it's
I
interesting.
mean, I would be a hypocrite if I would say that.
Speak your truth, girl.
Yeah, but no, I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, it's still my preference at the end of the day. Like,
Would you date a man
Yeah,
with lock extensions?
that's the question, really.
Would you date one? Oh, I want to hear this one.
But do you think he could even tell you? That'd be another question.
Would I date a man with like extensions?
Yes, would you? Would you really date one? Take your roof, Chris. You know what I'm saying? What's one of them good restaurants?
Yes, I
Shima.
would. I would.
Hey, you would.
I
You
would.
Okay. So it's
Because like I'm so weird. Like I'm really such like a weird person, and I just feel like I wouldn't want to miss out on a good person
just because
they chose to like want to have fake hair, and I wear fake hair, so it's just like
Oh,
it's
so
a
you be a
double
hypocrite.
standard.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that
we
it was
live-
made for women? We just dominated the end. So it's just
That's kind of like the guys that's getting liposuction right these days, right?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Some guys got the fake. They went to Columbia too.
Yeah.
And they got the BBL abs.
Now me, I wouldn't do that. Now if I knew you did that, because now it's just like that's to me that's more so like a self-esteem.
But both
thing.
is technically, right? Like
No.
you don't think so?
I believe the
It's
it's
an
just
acce-
not
it's an
masculine
accessory.
thing. It's just not masculine thing in society.
But who said?
We say.
You
we the
know,
men.
like-
That's what I'm saying.
we said.
men
We
said that.
men said it. That's who said it. we
Well,
said it.
Hey, well, I guess the men have spoken.
Exactly.
But I had a conversation with a man, my mom's boyfriend, like years ago, and it was a controversy about earrings and that they were for women, and that men who wear earrings are wearing women's jewelry.
That's interesting. I know growing up, my grandmother. See, I'm right. I don't have an ear pierce at all. My grandma didn't allow it because she said I didn't even grow my hair because that's what girls do, right? But I guess I'm gonna be a hypocrite now. I don't see a problem with earrings, me personally. Tupac had one. Shit.
Yeah, I had
Even
I
a
had
nose
earrings.
ring.
I had a nose ring too. It just like
It was on your
I
Tupac.
couldn't.
Tupac vibe.
I don't know what it is. It's
So
like
who's
I
to
fight
say
and pull
that
out.
it's like, I guess, because even when you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
hair goes back to men started fashion. Women didn't.
True.
Men,
And technically, we still men are still the ones that's really ruling the fashion industry, right? We the one.
and they did that even like back as far as like in tribes and stuff. They did stuff to accentuate their stuff and make themselves bigger and taller
Exactly.
with hair to create more dominance.
True.
And more creativity. Like
Exactly.
whoever was the most creative or had the seemed like the biggest presence, women.
Was more attracted to them. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like over time, like things just change.
Yeah. It's kind of like that now, right? That's an interesting point because I can't, shout out to you for always hooking me up, right? But every time I come out and I got the fresh, retwist, I get a lot of compliments from obviously a lot of girls, right? It's kind of weird for a lot of dudes, but I get that. Some compliments from some guys too, like, hey man, I like your locks. Well, I appreciate it, brother. Like, thank you.
I'd be jealous. And my hair just be like right here, and I'm like, look at this dude.
No hang time.
I don't got
No hang time.
my hands are not
But look,
that
it still looks good on you though, right? So at the end of the day, you have to appreciate the full process.
And then some styles look better with shorter hair
That's
versus
true.
longer hair.
That's true. That's true.
Like some stages, I'm like, right now, like this is a bomb look for where you at right now.
True.
You
know
know
what they
I'm
say
saying?
with the shorty with the short haircut? You know what they say about her?
What?
What they say about her, B?
No, you tell me.
She usually got
I like Holly Berry all
she
day.
usually got that wagon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It supposedly accentuates it more.
And
Like
that goes. I think it's
Yeah.
accentuating something. I can tell you that.
Usually, the
Usually,
ones that
right?
got the bob, she always
Hey,
got.
she got the builder.
Yeah, she got it. She got it.
the
She
builder.
She
built
got the builder.
She built it.
okay.
She definitely got the builder. So, Tiff, you would say right now you're in a great space, right? You're
No.
okay. You're not in such a great space, but would you say just in your business wise, right? Because you just did open up a new location, like that's really successful. That's dope, right? So as you keep going forward, like let's say I don't know, 20 years from now, right? And you look back at yourself in this moment, what would you tell yourself to do different?
Oh God, that was a great question, Deshaun. Do it today.
Okay.
So if you tell yourself that, right, when you gonna do it today? Literally.
All right. Yeah.
Right? So, and that's the point I like to drive home with a lot of people, right? Making sure that number one, they understand what they're trying to accomplish, but more importantly, that even after they figure out what they're trying to accomplish, where they need to go. And they just have to start doing it. Just stop talking about it. At some point, I even had to tell myself, shut up. Just do it. If you fail, that's okay. You can't fail forever, as long as you're trying, right? And to me, the way I look at it, you're really not failing. You're just learning as times go on, right? So the biggest message I like to get out to people out there is that you have to really dig deep into who you're trying to be, or who you're trying to be, where you're trying to go, the things you're trying to accomplish, and don't give yourself no excuses of why you can't do something. You know, you really have to put what they say, the best foot forward, right? That's what I'm saying, but it's true.
I mean, like they say, do it scared, do it, you know, confident, do it, just do it.
Just
like,
do it.
Live risk free. You know what I mean? You gotta risk it all. Everything is a risk nowadays. Even stepping outside this building is a risk.
Exactly.
You know, so you gotta take that risk, and people are scared to take risks. You know, and that's what kind of what did they say is the fear of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? That would really drive people into to hold people back from doing what they need to do. It's not being able to do it themselves. You know?
Agree.
That is, I think that if we all took risks, you know, half of us will fail, but you learn from that failure.
Exactly, and just move forward.
What do you say was one of your failures that you really learned from in your business?
Not really thinking that I had it all together.
Okay.
Thinking that
Overconfidence?
because before,
Yeah. I've been down there.
very cocky.
Yeah.
Very know-it-all. Very.
It's a bad trait to have, isn't it? Yeah. I learned that personally.
Can't nobody
tell you anything. Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I say I stress so much is to get a mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace, my mentor. Like one of my mentors. But
you need somebody to check you, right? You need somebody to check you.
That's why I want to be a mentor.
Got you.
But when I tell you, like when I say if you want to be a mentee, either gonna build thick skins or you're gonna have to have thick skin.
Exactly.
Because I'm a Sagittarius and
the astrology is coming in.
My mouth and sometimes my delivery.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to eat the fruit and spit out the seeds.
Exactly. That's a good one.
So, like with my mentor, like prime example, like I thought everything was about fashion and looking a certain way.
Yeah.
And I would come into the salon and have new stuff on, and then I would have a 3:00 appointment and have to run to the beauty supply store and get color. And she would say, "You had them new shoes on. I bet you could have had some color." You know,
priorities in the wrong place, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really good point, because at some point,
I used to hate it. I used to be like, "Ugh, like she old, she don't know, she don't know nothing." But the more I started talking to that lady, I'm like,
she was
"You
giving
20
them
years in the game, you never worked a regular job."
Sometimes we got to humble ourselves, right? When with certain people speaking, it's very important to kind of take 5 steps back.
Because I'm seeing you do 16 clients in a day.
You know, but look, you said she's 20
sitting
years.
on a stool.
You know how consistent she had to be?
She told me like days I ate noodles. Like, you know how many days I had to go and wear the $1 Old Navy flip-flops.
That drive and that hunger is on another level.
Yeah, it's like
She
when we
I
said
had to go
last
back
time.
to my mom's house. You know how much that humbled me?
Yeah, perseverance.
Like, I didn't date. I didn't go on dates. I didn't, like, just hungry. Just a different level. And that just drove me to be like, it inspired me so much, but it didn't. It took me 10 years for me to, like, absorb all of that information and knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and when she died, I was like, I was so upset with myself because I was like, I didn't really tell her how much
she meant to.
You know, she really she changed the trajectory of what I thought doing hair was, because she would always say, "I'm not a great hairstylist, but I'm consistent, and 90% is like your work ethic,
Exactly,
and 10% is the skill."
I agree to that.
So, like,
I agree.
She like, people show up because they know I'm gonna be here. They know I'm gonna be on time.
Exactly.
They know I'm gonna deliver, and it's gonna come out right
every single time.
So it might not be the crispiest.
Exactly.
It might not be perfect.
Exactly.
But your hair gonna be growing. You're gonna come in here. You're gonna get what's best for you,
That kitchen
not what you want. And controlling her chair. Like I could just remember like her popping off so many capes and be like, "Oh wait, today can be your last day."
Mm.
I'm like, "Damn, I need that money. How
It
you
was-
doing that? Don't you need that money?" Nope.
Do you think that's her success that success do come with consequences? You
Oh,
know,
for sure.
everybody say that.
Yeah.
But do you think you putting forward success actually kind of mess up your personal life as well? Because all that sacrifice she did,
Yeah.
if you got kids, your kids not gonna want
Yes,
to
that
hear.
was gonna be my first answer, but then I had to think deeper into that. But then it's very much that,
Yeah.
because
It's a balance,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you sacrifice some of the time for your personal gains, like your business, right? But then you got to also remember, especially if you have kids, which we all do, right? You got to think about those kids too. So you creating that balance and whatever works for you. I've learned this too. So, oh, you work too much, da da da. But you think I post everything on social media? No, of course I don't, right? That's kind of foolish. So if we learn to create that balance between the work and the kids and the family and the personal stuff,
Well,
I think you'll live a
one
happier
thing
life.
too is just having like a solid partner who believes
Yeah.
in you, because being an entrepreneur and finding clients and having people to trust you with their hair, because it's different to be an entrepreneur and open up something that, like, not saying like the ice cream shop. Somebody might walk in and spend $5 on ice cream. It's nasty. I throw it in the trash.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
I'm spending $80 on a hairstyle, then
Yeah,
I
throw
gotta
that
go to
in the
work in the
trash.
morning. You like, I don't know. I think I might want to go to the person that I know is
Bingo.
for sure.
Exactly.
So trying to build that clientele and not really having the resources to back you up, and having a partner who is like, where the damn money at?
Exactly.
And it's like, I made $50 today, but
True.
$50
and he
not
was
gonna
just like, which I don't blame anybody, because looking back, I mean, you still have to live and be realistic. He was just like, you need to go get a job.
Exactly.
Like, this is not a real job. This is not consistent. This is not nothing. But I always pray that I would
Can't let those
I would
negative
always
words affect you.
sustain my lifestyle by doing hair and doing what I love.
Exactly.
And now I'm finally being able to do that. And I'll say the last
That's awesome.
5 years, and I've been in this industry, so
for a long time.
for a long time, because I was making bad choices, and I was trying to look an aesthetic a certain type of way,
Got you.
and wanting, like I said, like we were talking about in the beginning. Oh, I like that Aldo bag. I want the Aldo bag. I'm a Goodwill girl.
You
Like,
gotta
I love
sacrifice
Goodwill. This
the
whole
Aldo.
outfit is from Goodwill.
What
Like,
was that 9 to 5 job? What? Talk about that.
I've had plenty of 9 to 5 jobs. Like, I think I've done literally about everything.
By everything, right?
Did any of those 9 to 5 jobs actually transition into your business? Did it help you?
Yeah, I
build?
always, what I started doing one day I was driving in a car and I was on my way to work, and I was listening to like a McDonald's commercial, and I said, why don't you just do what businesses already do
Mm-hmm.
and market for the way you would market it? Like, if it was like a new hash brown that came out or something like that, like, how would you market the way McDonald's would market it?
Exactly.
And so I started thinking on a new level. So when I would go into these businesses and stuff and I would work places, I'd be like, kind of almost recruiting people.
Gotcha.
Like, that was like literally my thing.
Okay.
I'm going to go in and build a rapport and relationship with these coworkers.
Yep.
Oh, I do
Purposely.
hair.
Purposely.
I
Yeah.
do hair.
Purposely.
I do hair. And then as I still was learning, I created, because I always gravitated to like older people. They would give me advice
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
wisdom.
So it was like I always took something from those jobs, and even still now, years later down the line, that first jobs I've worked, I still do their
Still do.
hair. Like
That's
a job
dope.
at Cookout was my very
First
well,
job.
like real job, because I did like private sit and CNA. I worked for like a guy who paid me under the he did like flooring, so he like paid me, but like a real payroll first job was at Cookout.
Gotcha.
And I lost my train of thought.
And I was gonna say while you were saying that, I was like, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. You know, is you just doing what the other business in prior has already done.
Yeah.
You're just repeating there to be successful. That's why I say it's nothing that's really new under the sun.
True.
You know,
True,
so
yeah.
you just really
Just taking all those attributes.
taking their attributes and your job that, you know, it might seem crazy flipping burgers at McDonald's, but,
but it's a
that
skill.
can transition
But
to
to
something
something
else.
and
yeah.
how you do that, because see, so many people talk. That's really why I want to mentor it. Like, because I'm a visual person. Like, you can sit here all day and tell me da. I literally need you to be like, because me, see, I always say, like, if you ever sold any type of illegal substance,
Positive podcast.
you are the best business person ever. Like,
I hear a lot of people say that.
you mean to tell me you bought this for this?
It's just a
Took it
skill.
and take this to this.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, back the burger company said, okay, we're gonna buy a 10 pounds of beef, and in this 10 pounds of beef we can get 600 burgers. For 600 burgers, we're gonna charge $3.98 for $3.98 times this. But we have to keep 17 burgers on the grill at each time. It takes 3 minutes on each side for the burger. So it's a down to a science. And you're like, dang, how they making so much damn money? You know what I'm saying? Because I used to work, like I said, work at Cookout, and when we used to run the numbers, when the thing, like, fucking way, they made $23,000 on this register. This is this register, and there's 3 of these motherfuckers in here.
It's just a mentality.
Yeah, I'm lit. Look, I'm like, what the
It's all about math,
and
economic.
I'm terrible at math, but when it comes to like money
Counting
and
that
start
cheese is
understanding,
different,
it's
right?
like, yeah, hold on, 9 times this and this, all right,
think-
like,
It's just
I think
it's
we
a
all
real
from the-
mentality, right? Like just taking that skill, taking that stuff that you learned, and just pouring it over into something new, and just starting creating a new foundation. But before we wrap it up, right, on this podcast, the Daddy's Day Out, we like to give people their flowers, right? So I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I'm watching what you're doing, right? Me and B, we're definitely tuned in. We hope everybody else is tuned in. So keep doing your thing. Let the people know where they can find you, your Instagram, your socials, everything, so everybody know what's up.
so I am on. I'm on Facebook, Tiffany Baskins.
Okay.
And
What's your IG?
I have 2 IGs. One of them is 2B Hair, and the other one is 2BH_ the brand.
You heard it. You heard it.
And I'm also on TikTok.
All right.
I'm an actress on there. So.
And a future mentor.
That's right.
I'm already a mentor.
Hey.
Oh, tell me you receiving mentorees. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we taking all applications.
I've been doing that. That's why I said back in the beginning, like, giving that information away free because people they come to you and pick your brain.
No, I'm gonna give it to you for free. But hey, this is the Daddy's Day Out podcast. Appreciate you, Tiffany, for coming through. It's your boy GB.
Boy B.
All right, we out. Peace.
All right.